Okay, so real quick, I was trying to go live on YouTube, but I guess certain restrictions wouldn't allow me to. But I just want to go through all my drum gear real quick because I know, like, even though I'm not like, I'm not that big, like, as far as drummers, like, I'm not that kind of professional that, I get asked a lot what specifically I use, but just for the heck of it, I just wanted to, go through my drum gear so that y'all can know, so that y'all won't ever have to uh, go back and ask me what I use specifically. So I just want to take y'all through my drum gear real quick and let y'all know what I use. So just starting off with the drums, I play Pearl drums. It's a Pearl Decade Maple kit with a satin amber's color. I'm not endorsed with any of the gear that I use, but maybe one day. This is the Pearl Decade Maple 7 piece, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And I believe these are all cuts of 8s. And the heads that I use on my toms are the Evans EC2s. Shout out to Evans. Um, yeah, these are the. I got this drum set uh, this past year, back in 2019. So it's only like a year old, so it's still kind of freshly new. And the kick drum that I have is a 22 by 18, and I have the Evans GMAT on here. I know a lot of drummers who play Evans mainly use the EMAT, but I looked it up and they said that the GMATs are a little bit more darker in sound than the EMAT, so I wanted to go for a more darker tone. A more darker tone. My fault. So I have this extra bass drum head. It's a Evans Onyx, and I'll eventually switch it and put it on this one because they said that you know this head is also a good head for bass drums. It's durable and it has a nice dark boom sound to it as well. So yeah, I play Pearl drums, and like I said, it's a Decade Maple, one of the best kits out right now from Pearl, and it sounds very nice, very well. And moving on, I want to show y'all, just my stands. Nothing major, nothing fancy. But as far as like for cymbal stands, I mainly use these are the PDP 800 series boom stands. They're double braced, and that's the thing that I like about these stands because, I don't like cymbal stands that causes cymbals to tilt or whatever in the middle of while you're playing. So these work well. So uh, yeah, they're all PDP stands as far as my cymbal stands, and just other kind of stands and tom holders and stuff like that. And this stand I just use like whenever I want to record myself playing. I have a selfie stick inside of this cymbal stand so that I can hold my phone to record videos and stuff. And then over here, oh yeah, don't mind my room. I know it's junky, but I just have like a few other hardware pieces like tom legs, cymbal arm clamp attached to it, and then like just a few other hardware pieces. And the my hardware case is in right here in my closet. I'm not gonna pull it out, but um, this is the hardware case that I use to hold all my stuff. And so yeah, that's just that. But going on to my snares now. These are all the snares that I have, and so I'm gonna go through each one and tell y'all about my snares real quick. This is a 12-inch pork pie snare. My uncle, who lives in Dallas, he used to play drums, but when he stopped playing drums, he gave it to me because he knew I would like it, and he also gave this same snare because like he's had like quite a few of these snares before, so I know he gave one of them to one of my older cousins who plays. And yeah, this I had this one ever since 2017. So I've used it a couple of times at church or whatever. But like if you want to do like a big setup, like if you're playing like a big concert or whatever, and you want to have like a side snare, you can have like a 12-inch like this, like on the side or whatever, but not really like as a main snare, unless you want to be like Liddell Abrams and have a 12-inch snare as your main snare and like tune it, like have it cranked up like Liddell Abrams. But yeah, this is my 12-inch. I don't really use it much. Like if I'm shedding or whatever at home, like I may use it then, but it's like performance wise, I don't really use it like that. And I have the Evans reverse dot on it, and I have the Evans reverse dot on all my snares, as you're going to see. So this is my 12, and moving on to my 14s now. Uh, this is a 14, 14 by 5 Thomas Superstar, and this snare works pretty good. I use it at church here and there, and like if I have like church rehearsals or whatever, and then I'll probably pull this snare out. But like I use it like on some Sundays. Um, yeah, so not too really much, not too much I will really say about this, but it does sound pretty like it sounds good. Like don't get me wrong, and yeah, so that's what I use the snare for, and yeah, it's 14 by 5, and once again with the Evans reverse dot on it. Um, moving on to my one of my main snares that I like to use the most. This one is a DW performance series. I know a lot of you drummers, whether you play DW or not, I know a lot of you drummers are familiar with this snare. One of the best DW snares out right now, and probably like one of the best snares that DW has ever made. And just a quick fun fact about this snare. Uh, the day that I got this snare, I was actually going to Guitar Center to get a new cymbal bag because I needed a new cymbal bag at the time. But when I got there to Guitar Center, they didn't have the cymbal bag that I was looking for. So it's like I kind of disappointed. It's like okay, well, it's like I came to Guitar Center. It's like I want to get something while I'm here. So I seen this snare on the shelf that they had it on, and they had a clearance tag on it. And for a lot of y'all that know, these DW snares, or like really like any DW snare, runs between $400 and $500. So uh yeah, but they had a clearance sale on it for 340, and so it's like I just couldn't pass it up. I couldn't pass up that moment and that opportunity because it's like some of my favorite drummers that I listen to. Like one of them, for example, his name is Tevin Curtis. He uses he has this snare, and I've seen him use it a lot. So it's like once I seen it, it's like okay, yeah, gotta snag it, gotta cop it. So it's a cherry red, and I got like a few stickers on the front side. And this is something that my dad gave to me. He doesn't really play drums like that, but back when he was playing professionally, he had this attached to his snare, and so he wanted to say like if something ever happened to me, I want you to have something to remember me by. But ain't nothing gonna happen to him anytime soon, as long as he's still living. But yep, that's my first DW, and here's my other DW that I have. This one is, I believe it's a 14 by 8 as well. It's a DW design series. This was given to me by my boy Darnell Williams. He was trying to get rid of it, and he hit me up and asked me if I wanted it. So I was like, hey man, just let me know. So I cashed out him the money, and he shipped it to me because I'm back home in San Antonio now, but at the time I was in Washington, and I was in Washington for a good 8 years. So he shipped the snare to me, and I've had it since April of this year. And the thing that I love about this snare is that it doesn't detune too much. It's like the last time I used this snare was the first Sunday of this month at church, and I used it this past Sunday as well, and I didn't even have to tweak it or anything because like it still sounded the same way that it did when I uh, played on it the first Sunday of this month. So yeah, that's one thing I love about this snare, that it doesn't tweak as much and you don't have to go back and retune it too much. But I would say like the only negative thing about it is that when you're tuning it, like the screws on it, it kind of has this like annoying squeaky sound when you tune it. But other than that, like this snare is like a great snare. It's a beautiful sound if you know how to tune your snare up right. And with this reverse dot head on it, it makes it sound just that much better. And like I said, Evans reverse dots are my heads of choice when it comes to snares. And so moving on to my last snare, I have the Yamaha Steel Custom snare. And I believe this is like a 14 by 8, if I'm not mistaken. And I've had this snare since 2017, and um, I have mainly used this snare back when I was playing with the band that I was in at the time while I was living in Washington. Uh, every time we had a gig, this was the snare that I always used when I gigged with the band, and it's good for any type of situation, especially like with rock music and stuff like that, or even if you're recording in a studio. And I've used this snare in recording sessions plenty of times, and it's always a cut through type of snare. And I've used this snare like anytime that I've had like a rock performance, where if I was recording in the studio for, or if I was doing like a live performance. So yeah, this and because I mainly use the snare for rock. I usually I mainly like to have my snares like tuned to like a mid high pitch. But with this one, like I have it tuned like just a tad bit lower. But I still make sure that it has like a good nice pop to it. And I didn't mention this before, but I keep like at least two moon gels on my snares because kind of like a lot of times in the past, like I kind of get complaints that my snare would be too loud or whatever. So I keep two moon gels on all of my snares to like dampen some of the overtone that my snare may be coming out through. So yeah, but that's all my snares, and I'll take y'all through my cymbals now. So I play zildjian cymbals for those of y'all that know, and just in case for those of y'all that may not know, I play zildjian cymbals. Been playing zildjian since day one, and I've always loved zildjian. A customs have always been my favorite, but I have started taking a liking more to K's a lot more now than I did at first. But I'll go ahead and go through each one because I have a lot of symbols. So I'm gonna just go through them real quick. So these are like two of my extra symbols because since I have so many, it's like I don't use these too much because these are more of like my smaller type of symbols. So I only use these like if I'm shedding at home or whatever. But like performance wise, I don't use anything smaller than an 18. But they're both projection crashes, 16 and 17. I've had both of these since I think like 2015. They're still in good condition, no cracks in it or anything. So yeah, that's just only like when I use these, just like when I'm shedding or whatever. But like I said, like if I'm like playing anywhere, like where I have like a performance or whatever, or like even if I'm playing at church, I don't use anything smaller than an 18. So those are those crashes. And moving to my cymbal bag where all my main cymbals are. Uh, in my front side here, I keep my splashes and my hi-hats in here. And so these are my two splashes. It's a K 10-inch splash that I have, and then I have a custom 10-inch splash. I've had this splash for a long time, and it's still in good condition, no cracks or anything like that. So those are my two splashes that I use. And then the hi-hats that I use are the 14-inch New Beats from Zildjian. And the main thing that I love about those hi-hats is that I like hi-hats that are crisp, that have a crisp sound to it. So, I've always liked these. These have always been my favorite hi-hats. So I was finally able to get some pair of these for my 22nd birthday. So I've used those in every situation. They're good in recordings, recording sessions, performance-wise. I've been thinking about getting some 15s, but for right now, like 14s are okay with me for right now. But I may decide to switch to 15s later on. But yeah, those are the hi-hats. Those are my splashes that I use. And moving to the inside, where all my bigger cymbals are. Take out through these real quick. So starting out with my stack. This is a stack that I have. For those of y'all who know, Zildjian last year came out with the FX stacks. So they make them from 8-inch all the way to a 16. So when I was in town visiting before I moved back, when I was in town last year visiting, I came to Sam Ash and they had this stack in the cymbal room. So I bought it then and had it since then. And it's a effects cymbal with holes in it on the top, and then they have a factory made cymbal that you can keep on the bottom. And you can play these like it is. You can play them flipped over if you want to, or like even if you want to use them as hi-hats. I've seen drummers use these as hi-hats before, and like they work and they come through. And I've used this a lot, like whenever me and the band would gig or whatever. And so yeah, so that's my stack. Now moving on to, hold on real quick. Hold on just a sec. Back in there. All right, sorry about that. Moving on to all my bigger crashes. I mainly play 18s. First crash is a 18-inch medium thin K crash. My dude Darnell, who gave me that design series DW snare, also gave me this snare. When I came home for Christmas back in 2018, I ran into him at Sam Ash, and at the time he was selling this cymbal, so he was trying to get rid of it. So he asked me if I wanted it, bought it off of him, and at the time I didn't know that I already had this crash, so I actually have two of these. Have one here, and then my other one is right here. So yeah. So I actually have two of these, and I just used this one at church this past Sunday. But yeah, I actually have two K medium thin crashes. Hold on, let me put these back in here. Moving on to my next crash. I have the K 18-inch Sweet Crash. These came out in Sweet Crashes came out in 2018. So that 2018 is when I first started taking a liking to case. So once they came out with these, I wanted to get one, so I finally got the 18, and nice, beautiful, dark sound to it. Um, I like the bell on here, and just a overall great cymbal. And then my last K crash that I have in my arsenal of cymbals. And I'm a cymbal fanatic, so that's why I have a whole bunch of cymbals. So my last K crash is a K 18-inch cluster crash. These came out last year, and so I love the sound to it. It can be used like as an effects crash because that's what it sounds like, and like with all these spots around it, I guess that's what gives it that cluster sound. But yeah, these are all my K crashes. So just give me a quick second. Give me a quick second. All right, sorry about that. All right, moving on to my A's now. This is a medium thin 18-inch A crash. Back when I was playing with the band that I was in at the time, I just mainly only just used this one when we did band rehearsals or whatever. So I would use this one in that extra K crash that I have. I would use these just for only rehearsal purposes. I use it at church sometimes, but just depending on whatever mood I'm in. But I really don't use it that much. But that's that crash. Moving on to my next one, I have the 18-inch A custom crash. This is my favorite crash because it works good like as a main crash. Whenever you do setups, like whatever cymbal you hit the most, it's like that's the cymbal that you want to rely on. And this cymbal is like just always been that kind of cymbal for me. So yeah, I use this one a lot because I love the tone in this cymbal, and it's one of the best A custom crashes in my opinion from Zildjian. I'm trying to get a 19, but I'll probably get a 19 for Christmas. But yeah, this is an 18-inch crash, and next, I told y'all I have a lot of cymbals, so just bear with me. I have the 18-inch A custom fast crash, and it's a nice quick sound. It's kind of darker than the regular 18-inch crash. So this crash and my 18-inch A custom, these go good together. Like I've used these in setups plenty of times before, and they always cut through. Like especially like if you have a recording session, A customs are the go-to because they cut through. So, yep, that's that one. And my last 18 is the A Custom 18-inch EFX. Now, this one is my favorite FX crash that's ever made from Zildjian. I've had this cymbal before, and this is my second one. So, yeah, I love the sound in it. I love the tone. I love how it's trashy and everything like that. So, yeah, that's my 18, and those are all my those are all my 18s. So, take y'all to my biggest crash that I got, which is the 20-inch cluster crash. I got this one back in April or May of this year. I bought it off of Z Sounds, and this is the first 20-inch crash that I've ever had. I've never had anything bigger than an 18. But you know, I see a lot of drummers nowadays playing 19 and 20-inch crashes. So like, you know, just going for a bigger sound and cymbals. So I haven't grown out of 18s, but you know, uh, I've gotten to the point so where I've wanted to have like, you know, bigger crashes also. So I like to preserve this crash a lot. Like I don't really use it that much unless it's for a special occasion. So I think, matter of fact, I think I've only used it once since I've had it. But my dude Darnell said that, you know, they're easy to crack. But he said, you know, he let a lot of heavy-handed drummers play on this crash, so that's why it wound up cracking. So that's another reason why I like to preserve it, because you know, I don't want you know I'm a heavy-handed drummer myself, but you know, uh, it just all comes, you know, how you hit the cymbal. Like if you hit the cymbal properly, and you don't really dig into it like that, then it's not gonna crack, in my opinion. But yeah, that's my 20-inch. Now moving on to my ride cymbals. I have two ride cymbals. My first ride cymbal is the 21-inch A Sweet Ride. I played on a 21-inch Sweet Ride for the first time back when I was 13 years old, and from then on, I've wanted to have a ride cymbal for myself. This ride cymbal for myself. So I got this one back in 2017, and I love it because you can, you know, use it as a ride, and if you want to crash on it, I love ride cymbals that you can crash on. So it's nice and big as a crash, but you know, it's versatile. You can use it for anything, and it's just the best ride cymbal in my opinion. And my last cymbal in my arsenal is a very special cymbal to me, and this is the only Sabian cymbal that I have. But it's a Sabian Vault Encore Ride. It's a 21-inch, and this cymbal was given to me by my legendary uncle in Chicago. Rest in peace, Kahari Parker. And anybody who knows Kahari Parker knows that he played Sabian. He was a legendary drummer. He played for anybody who you can probably name. He's traveled all over the world playing. And back in 2017, he came to Seattle and did a show downtown at Jazz Alley. Like I said, I'm back home in San Antonio now, but at the time I was living in Seattle. So after that show, he gave me this ride cymbal, and he he signed his name, he signed my name, even though he spelled my name wrong. My name is spelled with two A's, not two S's, but it's all good. He has his name right there, and I'd already had his phone number, but he had his number in there and everything. So yeah, he's giving it to me, and so I have this symbol to cherish, you know, as a memory. I used it when me and the band that I played in did rehearsals and stuff like that. But yeah, shout out to Kahari Parker, and rest in peace, Kahari Parker. But those are my symbols. Those are all my symbols of choice. And last thing I want to show y'all are my sticks. So I play Vic Firth sticks. Shout out to Vic Firth, best stick ever. And here are the sticks that I play. I play the Vic Firth Extreme 5Bs. I've been playing these since 2015. And ever since I started playing these for the first time, it automatically became my go-to stick. At the time, I was looking for a stick that would be durable, to last long. And because I'm a heavy-handed drummer, you know, I need a stick that's going to last long. So these are the sticks that last long for me, in my opinion. They have a nice balance. They're long, just enough for me to be able to reach without having, you know, to reach so far. When I first started playing these, like, they felt really heavy, but the more I started using them, the more they started, feeling more comfortable and more relaxed in my hands when I play. So I use these sticks for any situation, and I would recommend this stick to anybody who plays Vic Firth or anybody who needs a stick that'll last long, a stick that will be long enough for you to be able to reach when you're playing without having to reach too far. If you need a stick that'll last long and that's durable, use the Extreme 5Bs by Vic Firth. And I keep them in this Essentials stick bag, and so I keep some of them in here. I just carry this little Essentials stick bag with me to church on Sundays, and then the rest of my sticks are in here. So I have roughly like over 20 pair of sticks total. So, like I said, with all this drum equipment that I got, y'all would think that I'm endorsed, but I'm not. I just like to stay stocked up on stuff when it comes to drum gear and stuff like that. But the rest of my sticks I just keep in here. So whenever I break a few pair in here, I just put a few more in here. But yeah, y'all get it. And the backpack that I use is a protection racket. I think they discontinued these specific backpacks. But the main reason why I love these backpacks is because they work good. Like you can if you're traveling somewhere, like you can pretty much fit like clothes or laptops or basically anything in here. You can fit in here. It's good for traveling. And I actually have two of these. And this one I use to carry carry like two crash cymbals with me, because each Sunday I use two of my crashes at church, and then I carry this Essentials stick bag in here as well. So I usually carry two crashes in here and my Essentials stick bag in there, and it all fits well, like without ever having any problems or whatever. So this backpack is like a great backpack, and oh yeah, it's a little Wuhan China symbol in here, just for y'all to see. Just a Wuhan China that I bought for my church. I'm just gonna add that symbol to my setup at church this coming up Sunday. But that's pretty much it. I've gone through all my stuff and gone through all my drum gear and equipment and stuff. So just one more time, got a few bags over there. Show y'all what I use on my drums: Pearl flip pedal, kick drum in here. And just my hardware stuff, stands and stuff. All my snares over there, and all my cymbals and stuff, and my sticks and everything. So that's for you guys to know. And so that's all my drum gear. That's everything that I use specifically. Shout out to Pearl Drums, Evans Drum Heads, Vic First Sticks, and Zildjian cymbals, and everything else. But yeah, this is that. That's everything, and that's all my gear for you guys.